Hello, everybody, and welcome to our final episode of Big Brother After Dark. Mark, I am Bill. I know I'm not your regular host for BBHAD. That is Chris, but Peyton was working all day long, so he's not coming. He's just bringing in the liquor as he walks through because we have a lot to talk about. Chris,
Yeah.
how was the day today?
Oh my God. I think the three people in front of me would agree that the word for the day is chaotic. Today was one of the most action-packed days I think I've ever experienced, whether on cast or on production for an LRG. We dropped a major bombshell that I believe has never been done in an LRG before with our triple eviction. And we're going to dive deep into how that all played out. That was definitely the driving factor of the day, the driving event. But I have three lovely guests who unfortunately met their demise at the triple eviction today. In front of me, I have Dawn from Ravenclaw. I have Will, the lone Hufflepuff that is out of the game. And then I have Ray, our returning Slytherin player from season 2.
Hi, folks. Welcome to Big Brother Hogwarts After Dark. Mark, how was your day?
It was spectacular.
So I think between the three of you, you've had some unique live game experience. We'll get to the triple eviction. I know that you have a lot to say about the triple eviction, but real quick, what has it been like being on Big Brother Hogwarts? How different of a game is it? How boring of a game is it? How fun of a game is it? What are your thoughts?
Okay, you're returning.
Yeah, let's start with you. What was this season like compared to last season?
So my LRG experience is BBH. That's all I played. So season 2 and now season 3. This season was completely different, both in design by all of you, as well as in my strategy. Last year, I was trying to win. This year, I wasn't not trying to win. I just didn't. But I was also trying to focus a lot on my social strategy, which I think is what carried me as far as it did.
Awesome. What about you, Will? You've played a couple of live reality games. How does this not necessarily compare to them, but what was this like based off of all of your experience?
Hey, can you shut the door, please?
Yeah, I think all my games were very different because one was a one-day Survivor on the beach, another one was only a 24-hour game, another one-day Trader. So like all of them were so different in nature. I really liked how this stuck to the theme of the movies without it being, as you said from the beginning, Bill, like not solely Harry Potter, but it still had Big Brother. You could still tell it was Big Brother. But that it really integrated well all of the themes and stuff, which was cool, especially for someone like myself who hasn't seen any Harry Potter, read any books since I was like 12. It helped me learn a lot about the movies and books, which was really cool. So I like that.
And Dawn, you've played quite a few, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what is your experience at Big Brother Hogwarts been like when you think about the other games that you've been in?
I really enjoyed this. I like the hectic that well, the hell you put us in. I like the stress and the hell you put us through. I really enjoyed it. I didn't like the round that got us 3 out. You know, you could kick rocks for that one. But yeah, I did. I did like how hectic it was. And I really enjoyed the cast. But I liked all the competitions that you guys have come up with. I had a really good time.
Yeah, you've said, let's just dive into it because I feel like that's what we're all here to discuss. You said you've enjoyed the hell that we put you through. And I think that the triple eviction was definitely hell-ish. What went through, whoever wants to, what went through your mind when you found out that it was not a single, not a double, but a triple elimination and 3 of you were going home? What, and without any talking, 2, what went through your mind when you found out that a third of the cast was going to get chopped in one single round?
I was in shock. And then when I started looking around, I thought we're going to find out who is really true to their word and who could go to hell.
And so with the triple eviction, Ray, you were one of the few that was left unscathed after the original bloodbath. There was 3 HOHs. They each put up 3 different nominees. A 4th person went up because of an auto nomination, and somehow you landed out of the crosshairs for the time being. Did you think when you were not on the block that, hey, I have a chance of surviving this?
I would have been very surprised to be an initial nomination. I felt like I was close with all three HOHs. I had spoken to all of them. I trusted them, and so I wasn't surprised to not be nominated. The renom obviously was a different story.
So you were surprised when you were renominated over my
No, I knew that I was going to be renominated, but I did not think that I would go home.
So you think that you didn't go home? Did you have some reassurance that you were having the votes to stay? I know all three of you kind of left rather abruptly with not wanting to say anything as parting words. Was there a reason behind any of that?
So I was reassured by all three of the HOHs and the two voters that I was 1000% safe. I thought that I had not a final two with Michael, but I thought that him and I were watching out for each other for this whole game. Rachel, I had to work on very, 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 very hard, and I'm sure she'll touch on that more, but I thought that she was a 95% lock. And if there was a tie, I knew that the HOHs, at least two of the three of them would vote for me to stay. So I went on the block, thinking that it would actually be better for me to be on the block than not on the block if Michael were to go up as the replacement nominee after Rachel won the veto, because I promised Michael that I would vote for him to stay if he was on the block as a replacement nominee, and that was not my actual plan. I was going to vote for Will to stay. So when Jason told me that he wanted me to go up as the replacement nominee, I was like, I don't want to, I'd rather not, but for my own social game, I thought that it would actually be okay because I could vote out Will. I'm sorry, I could vote to save Will. So I don't really know. So
What about you, Will? What's going through your head? Maybe not necessarily just at that first initial, hey, we're doing a triple, but you had to donate coins to players that you thought would keep you safe. Like, what was going through your head during that whole kind of preliminary phase of the triple elimination?
Yeah, so I feel like this whole game I've kind of been clawing myself from the bottom. So I had a strong feeling that if I was not one of the HOHs in the triple, that there's a strong chance I might go. I was hoping that since a lot of lines were being shown, that I could capitalize off that and strengthen some alliances that I thought that I had. It seems like Michael has played all of us. And so the irony that I pushed for Ray to go on the block so that I could have Michael's vote when the opposite would have helped me is certainly not beyond me. It seems like he has had a lot of financial promises with people. So very curious to see, anyway, not to get too far ahead, but yeah, very curious to see how things will go tomorrow. But yeah, I think a lot of us are surprised by that coming out of the triple.
Have you all talked about how you donated your coins and who you donated them to? Like, do you know what you all did? Because one of you did one of the most surprising things I think I've ever seen in a live competitive game before in my life. Do we have any idea who I might be talking about?
Is it Dawn?
Dawn! When you did what you did, Chris and I were gagging when you left. What the heck?
Oh, I'm stupid.
You think so?
I didn't know the Johnny. I'm a fucking idiot.
She went all in, and Dawn, I believe, had the most points out of
Dawn had the most coins, and for those of you following along, the contestants have been collecting coins hidden throughout the house all weekend long. And going into the triple eviction, they had the opportunity to give themselves 8 points and then divvy up the remaining of their coins to other people. And every single person placed coins upon themselves. And then one lovely lady strolled into the room and said, I'm gonna put all my coins somewhere else.
It was like literally Vegas. She was like, "You gonna keep me fine?" And it was all overflowing on the bar top, all over Dawn.
And then after Dawn puts her coins, she calmly was like, okay, bye y'all. And then she goes upstairs, and then like 3 minutes and she goes, Chris, I fucked up.
It was so wild to watch.
Dawn, what went through your mind when you said, screw my own safety, I'm putting all of my coins on one individual?
When I realized, I was like, oh, fuck my whole life.
That there were 2 other people that could potentially nominate other people.
Yeah.
It was fun. Paper, fantastic. Tea.
Oh, I'm sure people were online saying she's so stupid. I was also saying I'm so stupid when I realized as I was going up the steps and I wasn't gonna make an ass of myself and come back down and ask if I could change anything because it was locked.
So,
Oh,
so you had, we gave you 30 minutes
yeah.
as an initial strategy, and then I think we did we do 20 or another 30?
30,
I think we did 30, 30, 20. So this round, this triple expulsion, you had the most time to strategize. It looked like, excuse me, it looked like chaos. What were the kinds of conversations? Were you guys like desperately grasping at straws? Were you making really good? Everyone's been like, oh my God, the speeches were so good this season. What were some of the things you were trying to get out of people?
When?
What?
What?
Like, what were you talking about?
So-
what were the conversations
Oh.
like during that strategy?
What were your pitches during the nominations and during the thoughts, like when you were having talked to somebody, what were your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think it was open fairly quickly that Stephen had a power, and so that I think shifted the direction of where
What sort of power was?
What was he saying he had?
supposedly a block of vote, which would then make sense that someone had it, that it was a 1-0. So
Well, I knew that he had it from
Right.
last night, but like a lot of people didn't know he had it. Yeah, I knew he
until
had
Michael
it.
told me.
Yeah, and I wasn't telling anybody because it wasn't my story to tell.
Sure.
So.
So
That's
that's
very nice of you, because I would have been like, shit, this motherfucker has
No,
no.
I just don't play that way. I don't
Get
play
that.
that.
It's really respectful.
I just don't play.
So I think all three of us knew that it was gonna come down to just one vote, but we all three thought that it was a different person's vote that it was coming down to.
Well, and
I think all three of us thought we were the one that was staying.
Yeah.
Fairly confidently.
yeah,
That shows
Yeah,
that the people that are upstairs and are still in this game. I mean, if all three of you thought that you were safe, they're playing a hell of a game.
yeah, we did. Well, when Rachel come back from casting her vote, I thought that Michael's vote was getting blocked.
Same.
We all thought that
Yeah.
Michael's vote was getting blocked and Rachel's was the vote that was counting. And when she came up from making her vote, she couldn't even look me in the eyes. So I knew I wasn't staying.
Mhm.
I promised Rachel everything under the sun. If she would vote for me to stay, I promised her final two. I'd throw Eli and Johnny to the curb, and I meant every word of it. But yeah, Rachel.
Okay, so let's play a game. Raise your hand if you thought Rachel was going to keep you.
I prayed. I wasn't sure. I was hoping I'd talk some sense into her because I knew she was going to be next if she didn't vote to keep me.
Okay, well, Rachel, it looks like you've got some splaining to do, so why don't you come over here and join us on our little third chair? Hello, Rachel.
Hi. Wow.
Unfortunately, your game ended in the final round tonight with a 3-0 vote to keep you, well, to evict you. Yeah. What's going on?
This whole day, honestly, like literally since the start, since I woke up, I felt nervous. I felt on edge, and that kind of set the tone for me for the rest of the day. And then when this triple came, I was like beyond over my head. I got a lot of thoughts about it.
And the triple came, and what was your immediate thought with the triple?
My immediate thought was, why the fuck did I not save my power for
Ah.
the triple?
Yeah. Did you have any idea that there might potentially be a triple
My
extension?
brain doesn't work like that.
No, did any of you, this was complete news to you when I said this out loud?
I thought that there would be a double today, but not a
Yeah, we
triple.
were
Yeah.
talking about a double. Okay, we were talking about a double.
So Rachel, what happened? If from at least behind the scenes, I don't see a lot of strategy let you do your own thing, but I thought you had a really great path to the end. I mean, I saw you there in the end. So what do you think happened today?
I got paranoid, which is why I played my power the very first round. I probably didn't have to, but the suspicion with the whole recorder thing and people not knowing things, I felt like I just had to do it then. And there was no way of me knowing because, like, if I didn't play the first round, I would probably play the second round. And the odds that I would play it the very, very last second was slim, but that was my mistake. I never said that I was from losing my points, so I was like, but I honestly thought that because everybody kept saying I was likable and sociable, that I would probably have some coins. I guess not. I also put my coins where I shouldn't have, so
Where did you put your coins?
I split them between Eli and Steven.
So why was that decision?
Well, now that I know that Steven, well, maybe putting them on Steven was okay, but Eli never had my back, which is really dirty, and I don't like that at all.
Yeah, you said that in your eviction speech.
You felt hurt by him.
Yeah,
And then you pointed at him and you said, especially you. I'm hurt by you.
Correct. As somebody who could have said that. Yeah, I am very hurt because I came in this game, I saw him, I loved him. We're going to the end. On everything. I thought that but too. And I also wanted to save Ray, not only because of that, but I also didn't want to ruin a relationship with Eli. It turns out we never come back in the first place, which is really icky. I don't like that, and I'm a juror, so do with that what you will, but I put him on there because I knew he would put me up.
So we heard Ray talk about how he promised you everything under the sun. Dawn said she thought she talked some sense into you. What went through your mind as you went into that voting booth, and what do you think happened to have all those results flipped upside down?
That was the most stressful half an hour I've had in a long time because all three of these people right here had such good arguments. They know how to talk to people. They've said everything that makes sense. And even so, like choosing between like 2, 3, whatever, I knew that I was going to make a bad decision on some part, like regardless, because they all had such good things to say. Like Dawn had some serious points about me being a bonus for them. Will had some great points about like us having to take each other because these people are all going to take each other out. And obviously Ray said that other two, which was my plan going forward if I were to stick with Ray. And I mean, Steven was overjoyed when I won the veto, which is crazy. And then I kind of said, well, I don't really know if that's what I want to do with it. And then that's kind of shit.
Did you have a mindset? I know you were an original nominee, and then you were able to win the Power Video seat yourself. Did you have to immediately how did you pivot your mindset from shit, I'm sitting on the block to holy fuck, I'm safe, and now I have to vote somebody else out?
Yeah, especially with the rumors of Michael's vote being blocked, I knew it was all up to me, and that's a lot of pressure, and that was a lot of stress, and I had a lot of voices in my ear, and trying to bounce in between rooms was crazy, and everyone was saying such good things. I felt like my game, I didn't even know my own game at that point, because I didn't know what path was true and what path was not. But I mean, I voted the same way, so I don't know what happened, and I won't know what happened until the end, which is crazy still. But like, I was almost confident that I was.
One of the things that I heard as soon as you got eliminated from one of these people, and then I heard it again a second time, they seem to be questioning whether or not you actually voted Ray. I know as soon as you got out, Dawn said, did you actually vote for Ray? And then outside, I think Ray said, did you actually vote to keep me? So is that true? Or are you spilling the truth that you?
I'm spilling the truth on everything, everybody watching. I said my speech, whatever. I said, I'm somebody of my word. Ray promised me final 2. I haven't had that really from anybody. They were very wishy-washy. So I'm putting my eggs in that basket and I'm saving Ray. Like I lost some translations on how I'm like everyone's game. Like I'm sorry, but I said I wanted to save Ray because it did, and I wanted to bridge that and bring it forward.
So then after you get eliminated, now the 4 of you, your focus shifts less on how to stay in the game, and now you're looking at the end of the game. As we're entering this end game, and you are jurors, and you're figuring out who you want to win and represent the season, what are you all looking for in the finalists? What do you want to see? Who do you want to see? What are you looking for in this end portion? Will.
I am looking for people to be very good about selling their game. I think there's 2 people in particular, Eli and Jason, who we really need to hear from about what they feel like they did to get where they are. And I'm also very curious. In my opinion, I feel that Michael and who's left? Johnny, thank you. Brain, such a long day. Michael and Johnny are playing very similar games in my opinion. I think they're lying to everyone. They're just winning constantly, have to, and just kind of running through. So I want to see how the 2 of them are going to separate from each other. If one of them doesn't go before. Yeah.
And Ray, you weren't on the jury last season. You were eliminated right before the jury started. As a first-time juror in an LRG, what are you using this opportunity to look for?
I really don't want to be a bitter juror. This whole news about Michael kind of sent me for a spin too, because I felt like he was also an ally of mine, but it turns out he kind of gave the same promise to everybody in the house probably. I think that Johnny, a lot of people who have exited feel like Johnny really screwed them over. I don't feel that way. Whether or not that means that he gets my vote, that's a different story. It remains to be seen how the game that he plays goes, but I do feel like Johnny did stay loyal to me. He never screwed me over as far as I know. The rest of them, Steven, Steven played a very closeted game, so I have no idea what he actually did other than always vote in the minority. That's the only thing that he always claimed to do. As for the rest of them, Jason, I agree with Will that I really, don't have a lot to go off of there. And the last one is, Eli. Eli, I was in alliances with, I think. But I think he was another one that was playing both sides of the house. But he did win an HOH, he did win a veto. But other than that, I don't know what he actually did, or at least what moves were thought out by him.
And Dawn, you're an LRG veteran. What experience do you bring to the jury, and what are you looking for as we decide the winner?
Well, I had a final two with Johnny from the very beginning, and I honor everything that I do. I kept it solid, and I played hard for Johnny, and I thought he was playing hard for me, and he didn't even try to give me an explanation on the whole flipping and, letting me go. And then he brought Rachel in and was like, you can be our final four now. And like, I was irreplaceable, I was replaceable, just like that. Yeah, so I have an issue with that, that's pretty shitty. If we ever play in another game in the future, he needs to fucking kick rocks. It's fun. Eat shit and die. Yeah. No, he can eat shit and die.
Thank you for always, keep stealing what you say and, not speaking your truth. I really appreciate it.
I know.
She doesn't conceal her weapons and doesn't conceal her
I try to keep it, but it's just who I am. I didn't have a final two with anybody else. That was it. And then I'd like to see more from Jason. I'd like to see what else he can do. And Eli, I was working with him too, and he put me up and promised me that I would pawn. And he's another one. He could have came to me and said, "This is what it is." He avoided me too. He can suck my whole ass. And then
we're still going. Well, I was going to say we all seem to have a lot of opinions about the jury. Peyton will be conducting a jury round table.
But I had something nice to say. Michael, I mean,
Oh.
I had something nice.
I forget some of these players are engaged.
I'm not done yet. Michael.
Go.
No, I mean, I'm not sure where he was at. Of course, he promised that he was going to vote to keep me, which he obviously didn't. But I would maybe like to see him win. I really would. And I'll talk to him later. Michael.
And your reaction?
And what about Steven? Oh, I didn't know he was on the menu. We were in shock when we got eliminated. It was like, Steven who? What?
Tom's like, that was an option?
That was an
You have to
option.
say that?
That's why we didn't have anything to say when we got eliminated. It was like, what? Who? He was on the menu? What the hell is that? Anyway, okay, now you can go.
Okay. I was going to say, we seem to have a lot of opinions about the jury, some positive, some negatives. But if I can just kind of go down the line and hear who you think will be joining you next and who you think will be in the final. I would love to hear some of that.
I guess I'll start. Who I think is coming out next?
Who is coming out next?
Ooh. I don't know why I always say Steven, but I do. I think Steven. Maybe I'll do it this time, but I think, unless something crazy happens, I think Eli and Johnny and Michael and Jason are super tight, like 2 and 2, and then Steven, I don't know where he fits in. I don't know anything else about it, but yeah, that's what my guess would be, and who I think is gonna be the end.
Yeah.
Eli. I'm so freaking hurt by him. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. And he was a friend of mine for a long time before, not a long time, like a year. But
15 months.
15 months incoming. But actually not incoming because we're gonna have a talk after this. But yeah, I'm so burned and bitter by him, but it's a game and I am sometimes a bitter juror and I will admit that and that's totally cool. But I think Eli's gonna make it far because I just think he's inserted himself well. He got me cool.
I don't think there's any such thing as a bitter juror. I think that we are allowed to vote with our hearts. We play with our hearts. And I hate when people say that the jury is bitter. You have to deal with the consequences of making people feel the way that they feel.
Honestly,
You're not a bitter juror. You're just being honest. juror.
I'm just an honest juror and I will tell it how it is. And if you piss me off, I'm sorry, you pissed me off.
Exactly. Right? That's why it's a feeling. We can't help it.
It's jury management.
Amen.
That part.
What about you, Ray? Who do you think is coming next? And who do you think is gonna most likely be next?
I agree a lot with Rachel. I think Steven could be coming out next unless he's, with everything that went down with the triple eviction, he could be a lot more well-connected than we were all aware of. The person who I think remains the outsider is Jason. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jason came out next. As for the final three, unless one of these people makes a big move, I do see it being Michael, Johnny, and Eli. And I could see Eli kind of being the dark horse in this competition. I think everybody, they see Johnny. But that may not be how the jury goes. That may not be, how anything goes. So we'll see.
How about you, Will?
Oh God. I don't even know. I would say I think that next would probably, I'm gonna disagree. I don't think it's gonna be Steven. I would probably guess Jason. I think will be next to come join us. I think the final three, that was just a 4. Yeah, I mean, it'll probably honestly be Michael, Johnny, and I think they'll bring Steven. I really think he doesn't have much to sell. It's easier. I think at this point, Michael's hoping it'll be good against Johnny and he can take it from there, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think we all know who I would want to see next. It's not gonna happen. I think I agree with Rachel. I'm not like, I also don't really like bitter jury, but I hear what you said, Bill, and that very much this is the first time that I'm pissed. So thank you for validating my feelings.
And that's going off what Bill said. You are allowed to feel anything you want as a juror. These games are so tasking and everyone experiences it differently. And everyone is on the jury, but they are entitled to their own opinions. So whether you're angry, whether you're upset, whether you're hurt, whether you just want to get the fuck out of here, you are entitled to anything you want to feel. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
As an appetizer.
And what about you, Dawn? And you can't say you want all of them. Gotta pick one.
No, I think also Jason might be next unless he wins HOH. And then they'll have to eat each other alive. I don't know. We'll have to see. I would love to see Jason win the next HOH and let's see what them fuckers think.
That would be quite interesting.
It would be very interesting. But God, I would love to see Michael win. I would. I would. I don't know.
I told a lot of people before I left.
Yeah.
I told Johnny before I left.
I don't know. But the way that everybody's coming now and talking with Michael, the way he's handling stuff and Johnny handling stuff, I just don't know if they can win. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, we do have a couple more guests to bring on tonight. So what I want to do is any last minute things you want to get off your chest, stuff you want to clear up. We got 4 of you here. You're kind of all in out in an arsenal together in a way at the end of the day today. So now is your last chance to speak to the viewers, to speak to each other. What's next? What are we thinking? What are we hoping for? What do we want to confess? Floor's yours.
I told Johnny before I left. I said it. I looked in the eyes. I said it. Michael's sitting at the end. I'm going.
Oh.
So another Michael fan.
Not a fan. Not a fan, just, you got me. Yeah.
Alright.
And maybe my last tip should be like, Johnny, like, you have to keep me in here or I will literally for 34 seconds.
I just like how quickly I was like replaceable, how they just instantly threw me out and threw you in. It was like, you guys are
That's
such
for ya.
little fucking bitches, man. And then they got here the man to come and talk to me. It's like fucking drop them
And
all,
honestly,
little
though,
bitches.
That just shows the people who run to the power.
Yeah.
I had power, they grabbed onto me.
And that's like when I talked to you, I was like, we're dispensable. We're dispensable. And, you know, we need to get rid of Ray. And then we need to go after them two little fuckers.
Amen.
Mm. Mm-mm.
With Ray, any last minute thoughts? Anything else you need to get off your big buff chests?
And I will never trust Johnny again.
Oh,
Ever.
oh,
And I have some choice words for Eli.
Shit them.
and I, ooh,
It'll feel so much.
It really, you know, going out on a triple eviction was really hard, especially not being able to play in veto and fight for my life. You know, that was really challenging, but it was such an honor to be invited back for a second season, to make it so much further than I did in the last season. So you know, I'm leaving here happy. I feel like I accomplished something, and knowing especially that I was supposed to stay, if it hadn't been for a twist. A twist on a twist on a twist.
I love that for you.
You know, I would have made it to final six had it not been for this single vote on a triple eviction. So I feel like I really made this worth my while this year. So
And I don't
was very
regret
happy
playing
with
with you
that.
either.
Yeah. Like,
and we don't regret having you here.
And I want to thank y'all for having me. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I've been a Big Brother fan since literally the day that I started watching it with my parents, and like everybody I know knows that I want Big Brother so badly, and this was exactly what I expected Big Brother to be, and it was just so awesome.
That's good. Yeah. I was getting really nervous today. I kept pulling production to the side and being like, I don't know if we're doing too much. I mean, are they all going to cancel us for doing too much to these people? So to hear you all say, I kind of enjoyed the chaos. It is what it is. It's the game. I didn't play my cards the way that I should have. I think that you guys are all great sports. Ray, it was wonderful to have you back. You really were a knockout star last season. To see you thrive this year was amazing. Will, I just met you like a month ago. I'm so happy that you're here. We are going to be close friends for a while. Dawn and Rachel, I've been fans of you watching you play these games. You're both queens, and everything that you do, your icons. So the fact that I was able to get the Rachel and the Dawn on my game was just phenomenal. All four of you are excellent, amazing people. And I'm just so honored that you chose my game over any other games you could have played this weekend.
Yes, I echo the same exact sentiments. Ray, I met you last year, and it was fantastic. Dawn, we just met. Will, I've never met you beforehand, and Rachel, I've known you through a past game. But watching all of you play, you all brought such unique personalities and dynamic gameplay to the game, and it was fantastic watching you run around and strategize and comp beast your way through the game. So I'm so thrilled that all of you at least made it halfway through under the jury, you know. And hey, going out on a triple eviction is kind of iconic. How many people try and find some other person in the allergy community that you can be like, you know, Tony and I also went out in a triple eviction. You can't.
Let me tell you, that viewers lounge and the live feeds were below me up during that time. You guys went as far as
Oh, no, like both.
insane. But thank you so much for coming to Big Brother Hogwarts After Dark. Let's give a big round of applause for all four of you. Thank you. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see all of you. Not so bright and early, but we'll see you all tomorrow morning. So you guys can
And cheers.
exit cheers. Cheers. All right, go get your
Hey, let's go.
I do have two people that want to join us for some quick final thoughts. So let's bring on two of our creatures, Megan and Great.
Oh,
Hey.
I'm retired.
Hey.
I said I was saying in the camera this whole weekend.
Grace and Megan, unfortunately, you guys are not part of the jury who gets to decide your fate, but you are, you know, privileged to have watched this whole entire game through its entirety. What was it like today, seeing all of the gameplay that shook out? Are you excited with who's here? Are you kind of upset with how the game played? What were your thoughts on some of the craziness of today?
My thoughts on the crack. Oh, I was sitting at that dining room table and I was just kind of like, and I didn't hear like anything much of what was happening. So I was like, okay, I wonder what's gonna happen. Part of me was like, the first thing I thought is like, I'm glad I'm not being a part of this stress. Like I saw everyone so anxious, and I'm like, see, I'm sitting here chilling, but it was so crazy just watching all the votes play out and watching the things that were going on. But when that triple eviction got announced, I figured before coming in here that was going to be one of the twists where they kept expressing it's a season of threes. Yeah, 3 people are going home.
I'm so shocked. I'm so happy that you said that because every single person in the cast was like, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's a double eviction. I don't know."
Yeah, were you surprised to hear all 4 of them be like, didn't expect this at all?
Yeah, I was a little shook. Like I'm like, there's no way if it's a 3-theme season, they've done triple evictions on Big Brother for Canada and the US.
Yeah.
There's no, I see this party throwing that in there, and that's exactly what happened.
And yeah, Megan.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, it was either gonna be at final 12 or final 9, and then, I remembered like, oh, no, final 12 was round 5.
I don't even know.
Math ain't mathing right now, but, the whole, I knew the round 7, shenanigans from previous seasons, having watched stuff, and I'm like, that's when it's gonna be, but, them fuckers didn't ask me, so toodaloo, motherfuckers.
Speaking of Toodaloo motherfuckers, let's talk about your iconic exit, Megan. What a way to you had a little emotional ride when you were strategizing. I saw there was some tears, there was some emotion. One, when you were the Renon, correct?
Yeah.
Was that you looked really shocked when you heard your
So that round, it's still early in the game at that point. And we just had lost, 2 fabulous women. And I'm like, what the fuck this? Like, we've got Ray and Rachel up there, that's gonna be crazy. And I was told like, oh, you're gonna be fine for these knobs. And I'm like, okay. And if I were to pick veto, like I keep them the same. Like I'm here to play. I did know a fair amount of people when I came in, surprisingly, just from different things. But I'm like, I don't personally go that way. I'm like, this is this experience. Let's see what we can do here. And I was ready to play. I would have won that veto with the potions, but I knocked over my last one. I got
you were really, really close.
I was like, I would have won, and it would have been a different setup. But they can't handle the sassiness of it. So
Lots of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but one of the things that I've been noticing about both of you all day long, which I think has been really cool, is that you have both been kind of like the queens of the losers lounge. So no disrespect, but every time somebody new comes in, you both have like drinks ready to go for them. You both give them hugs. You both welcome them and let them talk their shit. Is that just something that you guys decided upon, or are you just all just trying to get through this game together?
So we Grace and I have been talking, we knew each other beforehand, before the game. Like, I walked in and I went, oh, cool, another familiar face. Awesome. But, when we ended up in our predicament, we had our lovely interview with you yesterday where we got to pop the fuck up, which was fun. But, at the same time, we're both on vacation. Neither one of us live anywhere near here. So it's like, we're here for the experience. Like, yeah, we might not be in the game, but I got to help hide coins and shit. That was fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to sass everybody and say, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. But, it's like, I knew, it could be, the experience could go any which way. I could still be playing right now, or I could not be, which I'm not at the moment. It sucks, yes, but next time these fuckers won't mess with me. So,
Yeah, no, it's definitely I feel like I kind of feel the same thing what she was saying. Our other pre-jurors that were with us, they ended up going home, and because we both live in New England and we don't have our flights booked until Monday, I'm like, well, I might as well sit here and party. If I'm not gonna be in the game, party and watch these stupid people scramble. And watch the people who all unanimously voted me out after shoving it down my throat that I was going to be fine. watching them all scramble, and I could just sit there with my Malibu and cranberry juice.
Yep.
It was the best part. And then when people got voted out, I felt bad for them, and I wanted to give them all the love in the world because it's a hard situation.
At least you like had like a heads up, like something was happening to me. It was like,
Yeah.
renom, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
No,
Like,
yours was great.
that's great, awesome. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, even though you two lovely ladies aren't on the jury, let's just, pretend for a moment you both are on the
Yes.
jury currently. You have watched the games all week long. You have not been a part of the strategy, but you've seen a lot of things go on. If you both were on the jury, would there be somebody that you would kind of want to see in the finals? Somebody you kind of want to see join your losers club shortly? I'd love to hear from that.
So, you want me to go or do you want me to go?
I can go first, actually. So, just based on everything I've seen and like also hearing the information and the tea that the jurors who are coming in that they are spelling, a dream little final two scenario I want to see, just because I feel it would be a huge showdown, would be Johnny and Michael, and I feel they both play so strongly. And I don't even think Steven, like, he's somebody who's like more on like the quieter side, in my opinion. But based on what I've seen, he's even killing it too, from what it looks like.
They must have started Beyonce.
Oh, they said if Beyonce was out, we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a problem.
Well, we won't keep us down here much longer. So we can try to get the Megan.
So if I had to say, I think, typically in Big Brother, it's a final two, but I think, in a season of like, trios, triads, everything's been in threes. Hopefully these people are smart enough, probably not, but smart enough to figure out that it's probably a final three. And I think that could be an interesting setup, but I definitely think it would be Johnny, Michael, and that other fucker. What's his name? Eli, probably. At the end, that's, love them all as humans, but as players, they can kind of go fuck themselves.
Well, that's very interesting. I mean, who's to say? There's so much dynamic gameplay left.
Yeah.
I know what's coming next. You know what's coming next. There are two things that I'm very excited for tomorrow. I'm not going to say what they are, but there are two specific competitions I am very excited for tomorrow. What are you looking forward to tomorrow? Besides crowning a winner, obviously.
I'm looking forward to sleeping tonight because I was up all night roaring like a dragon, right up so we can eat artichokes all night long. So I'm very, very sorry that I kept messing up and slurring my words all day. So I'm looking forward to some sleep tonight, but I am really looking forward. We have not done that kind of Arsenal finale competition that Big Brother usually does in both seasons. In season 1 and in season 2, it was kind of like a relay race. And we decided, sorry to burst your bubble, Megan, but we did decide to do the part 1, part 2, part 3 final HOH this year. So I'm really looking forward to seeing. No, just saying like a final 3 scenario. That's not happening. We are going to have a.
It was just my own theory based on the season, but hey, that's cool.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, sorry to Mr. Bubble.
I was like,
No. We hope
I got you.
Yeah. But we haven't done that yet, so I'm really excited to see, like, especially if it is, an Eli, Michael, Johnny
Situation.
What are we gonna do? Because now they're gonna have to turn on one, and I think everyone's expecting Johnny to win that final HOH. What if he doesn't? So I'm super excited to see how it happens.
I mean, there are a couple Big Brother Hogwarts staples that are still to come in this game that I don't think people are considering. Listening to what the jury had to say in front of us and listening to what even our pre-jury is saying, there's a big, glaring, obvious Big Brother staple from Hogwarts that nobody has talked about yet, which I'm very excited to see tomorrow. And then there's also that one competition that I am so excited to see tomorrow. You know which one I'm talking about. I think tomorrow is going to be action-packed. I think tomorrow is going to be messy. in more ways than one.
Yes.
Yes. I think whichever combination of people gets to the end, this cast has played harder than our other two seasons. And I think no matter who gets it to the end is going to be a very well-deserving winner, regardless of how the jury feels. I think all five gentlemen have played exceptional games in the finals, and any
Yeah.
single one of them would be a very deserving winner for our third season.
Before we kind of wrap up tonight, I do want to say I love everyone that played in season one. They were sort of my guinea pigs, so I apologize. Although you would think that the season three casts are really getting a test in my little guinea pig wheel here. And of course, I love everyone that played in season two. But I gotta say, Megan and Grace, you two might be my favorite pre-jurors. I think that you just are so amazing, and Chris hit the nail on the head. You're so welcoming. You're so willing to step up. I mean, Dewan was pelting tennis balls at my face. I have not. Megan and Grace were right behind me, being like, "I got you." It bounced off your nose.
I have not used my soccer goalie skills in about so many years since high school. But it was super fun, and I bought all these fabulous Gryffindor shirts. They were gonna be seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And every time I look at y'all, both of you, you're like, "What can I do? How can I help? What do you need? Do you have?"
Hiding those coins was so fun.
Yeah, it was fun part of it.
Especially sitting there with the coin that you
Oh,
put on
yeah,
my hand.
yes,
It was so funny. We were eating. I was like eating dinner. I was at the end of the table, and I'm just sitting here plotting. And Johnny's like, "Is that yours?" And I just looked at him, and I just sat there and stared at him. And then Devin snatched it, and Johnny snatched it out of his hand. I got it
I
first.
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got it first.
Mine was I think a few of them I kept when they were standing outside or they were at like the table strategizing. I was standing in the window because mine I wear mine down on my hip, so I was trying to be like hips don't lie, Shakira, channel it, it was like right there going hello, and people weren't looking at it, and then eventually it was during dinner that I was walking by and Will asked me if I wanted to eat with them, and I was like, oh, fuck or fine, yeah, sure, and then he saw it, he goes, can I have that? And I go, fine.
I'm real sad to give that coin away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we do have to wrap it up for tonight. They are getting a little rowdy upstairs, but thank you both for coming on. I don't know if you have drink.
I just finished my
But
second.
we're gonna cheers. Our invisible cheers here. Thank you so much, Grace and Megan.
Both ladies, thank you.
Real quick,
Sure.
before I'm gonna ask y'all to do something for me. If y'all have not watched that interview with me, Megan, and Missy, that happened, was it yesterday? That happened yesterday while they were doing that slow ass freaking POV challenge because they can't remember some constellation. Go watch that interview. Y'all want a grand old time because we popped off. And also I'm just gonna say, women in these orgs, in these LRGs, deserve so much better.
Period.
Especially you two. And it was really sad to see so many women go early, but I think the fact that we had so many women apply, and so many women play is just really, really great. And I know that you two went out early, but it sounds like you had a really great time.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah. So
This was a blast.
please apply, please come join us, and let's rewrite that narrative. Let's take these men out and let's
Fuck them.
You're
Hufflepuff deserves so much better too because we lost the last one at will, and then the rest of us three got sniped in the pre-jury.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank
Thank you
ladies
so
very
much, ladies.
Thank you both for coming in.
Yes, go enjoy the rest of your night, go get drunk, have fun, and
Let's do it.
go show all those fuckers some boss.
Bye, y'all.
All right, well, Chris, I think it's been such a long day.
Goodness, I know. I know how tired I am. I know how tired you must be. But there is still so much more gameplay just to wrap up this season. As I said before, our final five is a very intense final five. All five of these guys have a very strong chance of making it to the finale, making it to the W. There's still so much more game.
I'm so crazy and I love that.
These people are wild. But what are you looking forward to the most tomorrow as we wrap up our game?
I am looking forward to it being over. In all the best ways. This season took a lot out of me. I don't think that my brain has ever, I've been going through a lot these past couple of years. It has not been an easy path for me. I know that I'm very privileged and I'm very lucky and I'm surrounded by people who love me and I get that. But I've been feeling that this is the one thing that I really, really have in my life that really truly brings me joy and allows me to kind of like ooze this creative outlet that I need. And the fact that I had such a wonderful production staff trust me with all these crazy twists. I mean, all of them were like, I don't think the triple is a good idea, bro. And I'm like, trust me, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fair. It's gonna be great. The fans are gonna love it. I don't know if they're gonna love it, but we're gonna do it in all the best ways. And I gotta say, I think for what could have turned out to be the next biggest dramatic thing that could have ended my LRG career, I think that it turned out a good triple eviction.
I think it went amazingly. For not knowing what we got ourselves into, I know our production meeting, when we were hashing this out, I've talked on the phone for hours with Bill. We've sat in the conversation and we've talked nonstop about how to make sure that this goes effectively and stuns everybody. And jaws were on the floor throughout this entire day, throughout this entire game. And I'm just trying to think, how are we even going to try to top this? I think I saw one comment which absolutely sent me of, what if we did a quadruple eviction for season 4?
Season 4, the season of fours. That would be wild. Every round is a quadruple.
I mean, what if we just, I mean, as the seasons go, like a quintuple eviction. Let's just keep going. But I just think that this has been such a twisty game, and this cast has navigated the game so well. And I think we're just really shaping up for an amazing end game. All my Slytherins are out, so I'm kind of bummed about that. But who knows? We might have our very first Gryffindor win one of these games.
And I know that we're not technically in Chicago. We're about 20, 30 minutes away, but I love my city. I love living in Chicago. I think it's one of the best places in the world to be. So to be able to do the thing that I love with the people that I love, asking my cousin to join me this year on the production team, having my brother and my sister-in-law back, and the baby. We had, I think, a sweet, beautiful moment right there in the triple eviction. Having my mom make us food, having my dad help me build things. It's just really reminded me how much I love this, and the fact that I got to do this with people who I love in my life, in my city, 10 minutes away from the school that I work at that I love. It's just been really, really awesome. What are you looking forward to?
I'm so sorry. I just wanted something to really say. This game has been run so well, and it's really taken a Dumbledore's army to pull this all off together.
Yeah.
A Dumbledore's army?
Yeah. I get it.
Yes, that was the joke. I'm very proud of that joke.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We are Dumbledore's army,
It's taken a Dumbledore's army.
oh, I get it now. I'm like, why is he saying that? It's taking an army, but it's
Taking a
I got it.
There you go. There you
It's been a long day. I've been up all night with the damn
Bill's not very knowledgeable about the Harry Potter series, and so sometimes I just have to step in. But to answer your question, there are two things that I am very excited for tomorrow. I think is it our final 5 HOH competition? The competition, is that the one?
The messy one?
The messy one.
Yes,
That's
first thing in
the first competition. That. And I am very excited. No one brought up the fact that our Final Four is run a lot different than most
Every
LRG.
season. Last year they were like, oh shit, this season no one's even bringing it up.
Correct. Our Final Four has typically been a purge where there is no HOH at Final Four, and it's one competition. You either win it or you lose it. And I got to test the competition out. I think I would have stayed in the game if I was playing in real time, but I'm very excited for that because the gentlemen that are left are more on the physical side. A lot of them relied on their physical prowess to get them to where they are.
Really good point. I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
They're all very physical competitors.
They are.
And I am just so excited to see how this end game shakes out. I personally have 2 of my draft picks still left in the game, so I am riding strong on my picks. I don't want to jinx them, but I still have 2 people that are good to go in this game. So at the end of the day, I am just very
I
excited.
think I do too.
I don't
I won?
know.
Oh, I won for sure. Okay. All right, cool. I don't have Johnny. I don't have Johnny.
I don't know.
We'll take a look.
We'll figure it out. In any case, I'm very excited to see who joins our wall of champions with Frank and with Stacy tomorrow. Are we going to get another Ravenclaw, or are we going to get our first Gryffindor?
Oh, that would kind of be cool.
Wouldn't it be cool? And then we're still going to have no Hufflepuffs.
Next, please, we need a Hufflepuff.
Next year's
win.
gonna be
We need,
16
I'm just gonna cast 16 Hufflepuffs. That'll be the season. Big Brother Hogwarts.
Harry Potter and the Hufflepuff. Hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo. Yes, I love it. It's such a joy to do this with you, Chris.
Yes.
Dustin, Luan, Lexi, Peyton, and Angel, who are upstairs, everybody that's helping me, everybody that's watching, everyone that's playing. You guys have been best. But I do gotta say, my favorite guest on tonight's episode has been these guys. Right? How about you? With that, I think we're done. We're not going to do a Big Brother After Dark Mark tomorrow. Instead, we are going to give you an inside scoop of all of the partying, and we might have a guest or two show up tomorrow to make some fabulous drinks, and I am going to provide Chicago-style pizza to the cast and invite a little bit of my city to everyone that's playing this game. So tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. for our messy HOH competition when they're already pissing me. And the fact that they're going to get so messy first thing in the morning, oh my God, we have never done this in the morning. It's always been the last competition of tonight. So we decided to push that in the morning and really wake them up. So it's going to be an action-packed day tomorrow, and
Tune in tomorrow. We'll see
yeah,
ya.
let's see who wins. And then instead of our After Dark Mark special, it's probably just going to be like an After Dark Mark fiasco. So if you want to hang out with us and kiki, it'll be way less talk showy and way more,
Party.
hey,
Partying.
say hi to everybody, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, party.
Well, cheers, Bill. It was
Cheers.
great working today.
Yes.
Can't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the morning.